Hey everyone, I hope you're doing okay. So, I went to watch Oppenheimer and I am really excited to tell you about this movie and what I think of it. Even though you don't care or probably won't care or about my opinion or just don't care what I have to say at all, it's fine. I mean, you don't have to hear what I think about this movie. You don't have to hear anything about my opinion or anything. I'm freely, I'm gladly freely here to voice it, which I do love doing, but it's fine. So, Oppenheimer is about during World War II, Jen Leslie Groves Jr. appoints physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer to work on a top secret Manhattan project. Oppenheimer and a team of scientists spend years developing and designing the atomic bomb. Their work comes out in fruition on July 16, 1945, as they witness the world's first nuclear explosion, forever changing the course of history. And let me tell you what I think of this movie. I think it's fantastic. It's brilliant. I really ended up loving this movie, even though I didn't feel that interested in it. Probably it's because I didn't know anything about Oppenheimer, or this movie wasn't gonna be for me, or I don't know. But at the end of the day, I really love this movie. I really didn't know anything about Christopher Nolan, but I probably might check out some of his work because of this movie. And sometimes when it comes to action movies, I'm really sometimes not that excited. Probably it's because we're like seeing so many action movies these days, like, I don't know, some remakes, some sequels, or anything like that. I really don't feel like I'm ever that interested in action movies in general. But I went to check this one out with some of my family members just to see how it is. And I already said it is amazing. So I'm gonna point out what I like about this movie. The cinematography and directing, I think it's great. The writing, the acting, and the score, and the way this movie made me feel like at the end about Oppenheimer and our world and people. I'll get right into those soon. But of course, this movie kind of made me feel something at the end. Like, I kind of left the theater just with chills. And I love saying, wow, what an experience. So the actors in here are pretty great in their roles, and they're pretty surprising. There were some actors in here that I was not expecting to be in this movie, such as Florence Pugh, Jack Quaid, Rami Malek. So many recognizable faces in here that, just kind of took me by surprise. Emily Blunt is also here as well, but unsurprisingly, because I seen her in trailers, I knew she was going to be in this movie. Robert Downey Jr. is great in this movie. I really am happy to see him in here. Even though I'm not a big fan of him or anything, but I feel like he does deserve more. And I'm just happy to see him in this movie. Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer is great. He is the main character of this movie because the movie is basically about Oppenheimer. And I think he did the role very well, okay? Like, he does deliver good action and good emotions in his face that I seen throughout this whole movie. The score in this movie I think was great. I really love the way it sounds. It was good to hear the music in this movie. The creator of the score, Ludwig Göransson, did a good job. The writing and story in this movie is very well. I mean, it's a biopic based off a true person. But the whole movie basically focuses on Oppenheimer mostly and not anything else. We don't just get an entire history about the bomb or its origin. I mean, we do, but it's not just about the bomb. It's the story about Oppenheimer and his life, because that was what the movie is called. The directing and cinematography in this movie, I think it's very well. I really like the shots of the explosion scenes and the sparking scenes. They were really good looking scenes and visuals. I watched this movie in 3D, and I'm not really interested in watching movies in 3D because I just feel like they're a bunch of nothing. But this movie is a good choice to watch in 3D. So the way I felt about this movie was really great and also frightening, like I mentioned about the ending. I really walked away that really enjoying this movie a lot. I really had less knowledge of who Oppenheimer really was, but watching this movie I did find out who he was, and this movie actually teaches me more about Oppenheimer. He was the father of the atomic bomb, is what he was as I was looking it up on Google. And this was like a real person who created a bomb and cost the life of hundreds of thousands of people, and has to live with the consequence that he was responsible for the death of 100,000 people. And the movie does show like what the human mind could be capable of doing. Like something you create could be responsible for like the deaths of thousands of people, and you have to live with the consequence that you were responsible for the lives of these people. And I don't know, that was what I was kind of analyzing as I was watching the movie. But this was an amazing biopic on a true person that was created by Christopher Nolan. A biopic on a person that I didn't even know, or I forgot if I've ever like had a teacher teach me this kind of stuff, but I really never paid attention in history classes in in my school days. So, but I think this movie is really good, and I think Christopher Nolan really did a good job with this movie. So that's my small analysis of this movie, Oppenheimer, and what I thought of this movie. So now it's time for my final ranking. I'm gonna give Oppenheimer like a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said, this movie is fantastic and amazing. Great shots, great cast and acting, great score and story and everything. I mean, some scenes in here were like, kind of making me drift away from the movie, but later on I would just come back and be more excited about this movie and excited for more scenes in this movie. So I think you should definitely go watch this movie by yourself, with someone, with friends, I don't know. So that's it for my review on Oppenheimer. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought about the movie. Will you plan on going to see it? And I'll talk to you all soon. Goodbye.